10:56 p.m. Wednesday, November 2nd, 2022, episode number 952 of Oh Yeah Dude. My name is Jonathan. This is Seth. Hello, Seth.
Jonathan, it's wonderful to see you again.
Do me a sweet favor,
Yeah.
just a little bit. Keep going. There you go.
Let me, as we start 952, thank you so much for joining us. Oh Yeah Dude started in February of 2006. It's now November of 2022. You would think,
We'd have figured this out by now.
well, you'd think that, but you'd also think, well, can't be them because, well, they obviously didn't win the Powerball because we wouldn't be hearing it. But the funny thing is you could rest assured, although we didn't win on Wednesday the 2nd, but even if we did, you'd still be hearing us because you'd still be doing the show.
That's
Yeah.
how we do it.
Now, I don't know when you'll be hearing this, and I don't know if you remember from our last episode, we ended it with some lottery discussion. 4 tickets for me, 1 for Gene, not a single number between 5 tickets. So anyway, there's going to be, they drew, drawings are
Sorry.
Monday, Wednesday, Saturday.
How
So I don't
many-
know when you hear
not
this,
a
how many more have been done.
single
Not a
number.
single digit, regular or Powerball for 5 tickets.
Okay. So
Okay, so
doesn't matter.
fractal burning, burning leaves, burning tickets. Are you burning leaves? Can you still do that? Let me throw these tickets in there. So no matter when you hear this, now from 9:51 to 9:52, it's gone. It will be the biggest one I think ever in the
Probably.
world, and hopefully no one wins for till December, and it gets to
Like $10
$3 billion
and $10 billion.
$10 billion. And again, doesn't matter whether we win or not. You're still going to hear us, so wish us luck.
Yeah. Trust
the process.
Wish us luck because, I mean, I would much rather listen to
The richest,
the two
richest.
fun-
We'd be the funniest. We'd be the funniest,
two-
richest, funniest,
the funniest
richest
people.
people in the country.
The richest funny people. The funniest rich people.
We would be the funniest rich people in the country.
The funniest billionaires in the country.
Unless you heard that Bezos Musk podcast.
Oof.
Oh, well, those guys chop it up.
So raunchy.
Blue.
They get so blue, those two.
Blue Origin? Is that what Blue. I'm going to go right into a poem from the 1990s.
Man. I'm still not even recovered from the last one.
I'm so excited about the last one from 951. I'm going to go right into 952. So if you've never listened to an episode of Oh Yeah Dude, we do a show kind of about America through the eyes of 2 Americans. But we've been revisiting poetry that Jonathan wrote as a younger man in the decade of the 90s.
Yeah.
It was a real decade. It was a decade of realness.
Yes.
Before the internet really took hold.
Yeah, the noventas.
So, Vulture Children
Okay,
is
wait.
the title of this.
Vulture Children, I will say, definitely was maybe. This was definitely attempted as this was definitely sung to music at some point. At least an
This
attempt
was-
at this, turning this. This
to
was
melody.
written as lyrics.
Okay.
And this was intended as lyrics, and this wound up in some vague attempt at music was probably sung maybe more than once. There was probably no recording of it,
Okay,
but unfortunately. Oof.
Embrace your neighbor,
Is there...
for he is your brother. Fear not the vulture, children. Or is that fear not the vulture, children? Or fear not the vulture, children. The children are the children of the corn.
No,
They're children of the
you
vulture.
had it right the first way.
Fear not the vulture, children. So these kids are scared of the vulture. Is the vulture vultures metaphorically
Metaphorically, what?
people that can
Vampires.
be vampiric
Downpressers.
down-presser mans. Thank you. So you got to put it into a patois that I understand.
Well, they're
A gully patois
You need only ask.
that I need ask, not ask. Shall provide, shall said he. For we have our culture, heal them.
Roll it back because we
Embrace your neighbor, for he is your brother. Fear not the vulture, children. For we have our culture, heal them. Strong as the ocean, faith heals commotion. Come along and sing my song. Tell all the people that you see. This is fuck yeah. I get it now. There was Caducean rhythms.
Oh, now you get it.
And there was
Before
James
you-
Douglas Morrison isms. Guidance comes when you stand strong, differ between what's right and wrong. As I chant a joyful psalm, and I ask the leaders of this here Babylon, who gave you the right to ignore the world of the highest one? Were you going to run down Presser Man after have your fun? And I promised ya, get ya for what ya done. Where's fucking Chad Hanks when you need him? Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you Vulture Children by Chet Hanks. Did I say Chad Hanks?
Do I have two different socks on?
That's okay. That's cool. That's what the
Tell me I
millennials
don't
are
have
doing
two
now.
different socks.
That's what the millennials are doing now.
Motherfucker. Seth,
What? That's not.
are those two different socks?
Let
Does that say
see here.
Hanes?
Yeah. That don't say Hanes. That says Saucony. Saucony.
No. That's so scary.
Oh, you think that's age-related
Well, I
degeneration?
specifically
They look similar. They're very
Thank you.
stylistically.
they were together as a pair. I guess in my brain, I specifically, in my mind, knew that, looked at them and said, these are the same, and put them on, because I know that these two kinds of socks I have are close to the same.
How about how do they feel? What's the foot feel?
There's something off.
knew.
Now I know.
Yep.
Now that I know, it's like, how could I not have known?
I'd take them off, throw them in the trash right now.
But then I would be open-toed in your room, and I've never been open-toed in here, I don't think.
I've never been open-toed in his room. Embrace your neighbor, for he is your brother.
Now, is this spelled the way that I spelled it originally?
The way it's spelled here, it's like
A different type of spelling?
Yeah, it's not.
Is there a
neighbor,
Y?
Not neighbors as like that UK show.
Is
this
there-
is NAYBOR?
Okay, so it's spelled correctly.
Okay.
As, it is
authentically.
Thank you.
for a downpresser man,
Well,
neighbor.
no, I'm just saying this is a transcription from my hand. These were
Perfect.
handwritten, I think, or something.
your
But
assistant.
this by
My assistant.
but at the time.
Good work.
My assistant at the time, not my
Yes.
current assistant.
This is an assistant in the 90s.
No longer with us.
Embrace
family,
your
I mean,
neighbor,
she's
for he
still
is your brother.
alive.
Fear not the vulture, children, for we have our culture heal them. Strong as the ocean, faith heals commotion.
Yes, I.
Come along, sing my song. Guidance comes when you stand strong.
What else? Is that it?
I will see you at 9:53 for Serenity. Please join us.
Wow. Yeah.
Tell all the people that you see.
I've been writing lyrics again.
You should. Should always
in my
be
life.
writing
I've been
lyrics.
attempting to write lyrics again, I should say.
Writing what genre of music?
Well, I'm trying to write words to these songs that I've been working
On your guitar.
on my computer.
On your computer.
Some guitar is on there of me recording
Okay.
guitar, but it's a lot of
Electronic tracks that you've composed, you're finding lyrics that might be appropriate, that might
that I've
coalesce
maybe
with them.
I've like hummed gibberish to,
why
and then I'm like, could
I'll
I?
get you a little tape recorder for Christmas.
I
you to-
don't need that. I have a phone. It's
I guess that's
basically
right.
the greatest little tape recorder in the world,
Yep. And a computer,
and also like
and a phone,
yeah,
and a
it's
camera.
so many things though. There's
Calculator?
a shit ton of other things.
Okay.
You keep listing them, and I haven't not one thing have you been wrong about yet. So I mean, you could probably keep going.
Word processor.
Yeah, I'm processing of words definitely.
Actually, let me.
Um,
What about this?
It's not as romantic,
As
and
a
it's not
typewriter.
as tactile as
No.
a memo.
Speaking of a Hanks,
as a
it's typewriter.
microfiche,
Hanks.
micro cassette.
Yeah, like
Anyway.
Watergate. It just reminded me the amazing Telekin one-touch computer, the smart, easy computer for seniors. This is kind of like a jitterbug.
Current.
Yeah, for
So it's like a tablet that's not actually connected to the outside world, so they
it-
can't like empty their fucking
secure
life savings
system,
into
no
a.
viruses, speech to text, you talk, it types, 100% United States support, large print keyboard, large fonts, 200% zoom, easy one-touch menu. If you find computers frustrating and confusing,
I do.
you do,
Always have.
you're not alone.
I know I'm not. I'm on the blogs.
Well, get on this. Fuck, you want something easy and enjoyable?
Yeah.
Telekin's easy. Take it out of the box, plug it in, fuck off, you're there.
It's not the internet. It's like that Tim and Eric. The internet. But wait a second. I looked up a jitterbug. The jitterbug is not the jitterbug anymore. The jitterbug is just a Kyocera flip phone. So I don't know what
Looks like an
happened, but
iPhone
like
6.
people literally, I guess maybe back then, like a jitterbug for olds now is literally just like an early Nokia, and they still know how to use that. So even oldest people in the
iPhone
world
8.
right now are still like ultra comfortable, like
Totally.
pre-QWERTY keyboard. They can like alphanumeric page and
Yeah.
shit, no problem.
Hit the nursing home.
So,
Just like
because I
one
looked
hand.
at the OG one, and it was literally, it just is like
yeah.
a fire
like a
symbol, a
child's,
hospital
like-
symbol, and like mama.
Yeah.
And then like this one is
Totally.
like full numbers and everything. So I was like, oh wait,
Mama. Like Baskin Robbins, Mama, Fire, Police.
a new paper proposes that Homo sapiens may have been responsible for the extinction of Neanderthals not by violence,
I thought that's what it was.
but
huh?
through sex.
They fucked him to death.
Hard
Core
sex.
Homo sapien Neanderthal intercourse.
Interspecial intercourse.
Is that a category? Can you
Category?
look that up on Pornhub?
Interspecial?
No.
No.
Homo sapien
Well,
Neanderthal.
interspecial, not like interbestial,
No,
but
I want-
special. Is that
I
would
want
that be the
homo
right
s-
term? Is it a different species of human? Humanoid?
Neanderthal? Humanoid. Do they have humanoid? Is that a category? I don't know. They took it off of Instagram, so I'm
Can't-
lost. I don't
can't
know anymore.
search
Like,
it.
what's going on? But I want to know if there can be Neanderthal, Homo sapien
There.
as a category.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll make it. You and I
Make
after the
it.
show.
How'd they bone down back then?
When?
Like that time, whenever that was.
It was
What era that was?
probably
raw.
definitely raw, probably brief. And
Yeah, everything, because you're like
and
a woolly mammoth could
hec-
come.
hectic.
Hectic.
Shit would probably
Hairy, hectic,
brief.
harried, brief, woolly mammoth, raw, awesome.
So many versions of raw.
That
though.
would be-
like raw on a lot of fronts.
Cold.
Ends
Or hot,
hot or cold.
but cold.
Freezing, actually.
Private?
No,
No
way. No, I mean at least with like animals and shit looking on. Yeah, a little bit.
Quiet? Loud.
Muffled. But
Muffled. I want to do I want to do Foley or VR or some sort of work for this category.
VR work. I want to do Foley and
It's almost, that's a dog? No, he has his own style.
They all humans learn to talk
They
from
learn
mimicking
through
animals.
the
So
animals
like
around them.
very early
Like
human
wolves.
talk is very very animalistic, and it's different people have different animals that they emulate.
Is that McGruff? Is that McGruff? Crime dog.
Now, making love not war might have been responsible for putting the Neanderthals on a path to extinction. While about 2% of the genome of all living people from outside Africa is derived from Neanderthals, there is very little evidence that this process went the other way. A new paper published in the journal Paleoanthropology raises the prospect that interbreeding with our ancestors would have actually reduced the numbers of Neanderthals breeding with one another, thus leading to their eventual extinction. Yeah,
That introduction,
which
okay.
is unfortunately the type of fucked up science that not even fucked up science, but science that people can fuck up and twist. It's the kind of thing that they'll throw back in,
in what we mean in like what
in
kind
like
of way?
when they start dealing with like racial like elitism and stuff, where it's like, see, like you can like the fear of breeding oneself out is such a like flawed, shitty argument, but it's
just,
very,
this
it's
is
very common.
Science.
It's so whack.
I read it in
though. It's just
Paleo,
like, I
whatever,
wish
Paleo Weekly.
The sooner we do, because it's the eventuality, it's the unavoidable, it's already set in motion. There's nothing we can do to change that. But
Good call. Yeah.
but it
the basis for all sort
the
of
sooner it
tribalism
happens,
type.
whatever. The sooner it happens, the sooner something else will occur. But it would do away with a lot of stuff because
A lot of nonsense.
in 1,000 years it will be. I mean, I would think a lot of us would be just indistinguishable from one another as far as any of that kind of stuff goes.
Or
I mean,
not, and just like not be dumb. And just
yeah,
not
but
care.
I'm saying just that there will be,
Or be
a
even-
huge part of the population
Or not. Or
that
maybe
will
even-
be
could be-
such an amalgamation and mix
totally.
that they will be indistinguishable from one another as far as there will not be any reason to think one way or the other about what this person. You would not be able to remotely project that.
Oh, they'll find a
even
way.
they will. However, the reality of what that kind of I'm not promoting that as a solution
No, I know what you mean.
to
Just
the
being-
things that we're dealing with. It's like, but that so much
Yeah.
of it is happening
People used to live here. People used to live here. People used to live here. Now
that's
we all
just
live
like
here.
what that means when it like fully goes back around again. Like if we manage to live here long enough that can happen, like who knows what when that shit all gets mixed up together in nature, like crazy new things come out of it. More resilient, longer living, longer flourishing things. The more
Biodiversity. What?
exactly. But like if for all we know, this is the first tour that us humans have had like this around this
Okay.
planet that we're still in that first
First wave.
first wave of kind of the spread
First
from
wave
these-
migration.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like
evolutionary.
what does that happen evolutionary wise? How does that look once that's happened maybe 3 or 4 times on a planet before without it being wiped out in between of what, that's the rub. But
A monkey with the Great Plains Zoo in Sioux Falls is recovering after recent surgery because of an injury sustained after the animal picked up a bottle cap that someone threw in its enclosure. Kai, the Japanese macaque, had surgery, according to a social media post from the zoo. He picked up a bottle top that had been tossed into the snow monkey exhibit, and he tucked it into his cheek pouch. Eventually, over time, the bottle cap wore its way through the cheek and then needed to be removed. Despite the carelessness of the zoo's, the carefulness of the zoo's veterinary team, he will have a scar, according to the post. The zoo posted details about Kai's experience as a PSA for fucking visitors to avoid future incidents. Objects the animal care team place in exhibits as enrichment are chosen with species-specific requirements in mind, according to the post. Going back to our discussion for a couple episodes about zoos, I would imagine of all the problems and problematic things, when you gotta just worry about the fact that like you are
People
letting
toss
people in to their house and
they're
like
gonna try and toss weird shit.
people are
in
going to
there
toss shit when they
try
come
and,
to your
like, trick
fucking.
them into
You
doing
have a house
shit.
party. People are going to leave shit. They're going to do it.
and steal shit.
They're going to steal pills like Matthew Perry. They're going to fucking throw shit around, not put things away. And they're also going
Is
to
Matthew
show up.
Perry saying that the Matthew Perry that we see current day is
Right now.
not a fucked up on drugs?
He claims that he is 100%
Does
Michael
he claim?
Keaton clean and sober.
Does he claim that he was sober like that during that Friends? Okay, because he definitely wasn't, right?
No.
Okay,
No.
fine. I will then give him the benefit of the doubt
Okay.
that this one last week that I just saw that he was tan and fully sober. We know he was tan, especially from here up. But the sober thing I was very sus on. But I'm willing to say that if he's saying that he wasn't then,
You've
and he
always
is
taken
now,
Matthew at his word. You always have.
But I think that's a lot of the mistakes that a lot of us have made with Matthew is taking him at his word, and that's why
I guess where I
he is
got burned.
that's where he is in part because of us.
So when me and Dave got
That's
burned.
why he's
Remember that New
Schwim?
Year's Eve? Me and Dave got burned on that New Year's Eve.
Schwim.
Yeah.
Schwim.
98. Burned on New Year's Eve.
Me and Schwim.
Roman Schwim. Crazy story, man.
Harper's Index.
We got motherfucking burned, all right?
Again.
That's what
He
Schwim
said he was
to
going
me.
to pick up. He's just driving downtown.
I was like, Schwim, we got motherfucking burned.
Schwims.
And he was like, Romas, we just got burned.
Again.
Then we picked Lisa up. Lisa Kudrow.
Thank
so I
you.
call her Lise. We went to Norm's late night. Got steak, fries, milkshakes. And we all agreed
Not
we're going to get burned again.
Never
Going to get burned
again.
again.
Average age at which parents say that they intend to give their child a smartphone is 13.
Just wait till they're a teenager.
The age at which parents average age at which parents actually do is 10. Sounds about right.
Sounds perfect.
Seems like, yeah, that sounds about right. Say it with the best of intentions, 13, and by 10,
But
relinquish
reality,
control and
after
be
the
like,
badgering.
I do not care. I hope you're happy because this
'Cause
is
I'm
the last
not.
thing I'm ever gonna give you.
Yep.
Get out of my face. I hate you.
Yep. Enjoy your sights.
10, it's fine. If you've made it to 10,
If you can make it to 10 these days, don't you deserve a little something something?
no, I'm saying, yeah, if you can make it to 10, you deserve a little something, something. If you can resist to 10 giving your child a smartphone, you also deserve a little
Something.
a little hooch.
That's why Matt's here. I say, they're going to have it anyway. I go even younger.
Give it to them before they even understand what it is. Give it to them before they even, when they're still just like,
Well, you wanna teach-
like
you wanna-
gumming on it.
No,
like
you
just
wanna,
like,
maybe 4. You want to be able to sit down. You want to tell them about it.
give them a
All
profile.
the features.
Like,
This has a calculator.
Oh,
Jonathan said
you're
it
talking
has
about
a word
You're talking
processor.
about, what about just an Instagram? Just be like, this is yours. You have to put a picture on
You have
here
to
every
post
day.
twice a day.
You understand?
You
You have to
can-
post. I don't care what it is, but you gotta
Twice a day, one
the
day
heart.
only once. Gotta be real.
don't.
Not be real. So, yeah, not that one. Me and Max, we were just all up on be real. You know how it is, man.
Oh yeah. Watching that pod
Just like,
talking about weed.
just know, like people know, like where you at, man. This is where I'm at, chilling. Can't hide that. It's just fucking real. You can't hide it, and that's what this is about. It's about authenticity.
About not hiding.
This new generation. I don't know what they call them. I call them authentic.
That's what I call.
That's
them.
what I call them.
Hello, authentics.
I call them authentics. They get weirded out, but I think they appreciate it.
Hello, my authentics.
Yeah, these warp brains are going to get fucked no matter what. So give it to them early.
Early.
Put a tracking system on it.
Definitely.
Let them loose.
But not.
You know?
But track them.
Track the fuck out
But
of them.
let 'em
but let
loose.
them loose.
That's your key. That's
Because then
the
they're
key.
just like, my fucking dad is like
doesn't give
so
a shit.
cool.
But the whole time you're watching.
But the whole time I'm just like down there while they're like
Betting
all
money
these
on
10-year-olds are having coffee. You guys all drink coffee, huh? Yeah, man.
Fucking tired.
Yeah,
I've
bro.
been up since like 6, 7 in the morning.
Crazy, man. School starts like mad early.
The current focus of Project Hindsight is the astrology of the Hellenistic period.
Real astrology.
This is the astrology that developed in Egypt and the surrounding Mediterranean area after the Alexandrian conquest and persisted through the Roman period.
My kind of astrology.
Now, it is the primary source of all later Western astrology. So, 323 BCE
Yeah.
to 31 BCE.
That's my sweet spot for astrology.
Why? Oh, but as far as this,
This period,
This
this
Hellenistic
yeah,
period.
That's my go-to.
our research effort involves reconstructing the actual practice of Hellenistic astrology in detail, uncovering the original theoretical foundation behind its ancient discipline, tracing the transmission of this original doctrine down through the centuries
Roots.
to now.
Brass tacks, nuts and bolts. True.
Now, does that mean this is astrology? If I told this person I'm a Leo, would they agree with me?
See, that's just it. We're just getting into that right now. We're in some
You and
really,
her?
me, my team
Oh.
from Hindsight.
Oh, Project Hindsight.
My team.
So you're in Project Hindsight.
Yes. So some of me and my team members, we're still combing through ancient
But did you,
text.
because it doesn't say anything. Did you start Project Hindsight?
No.
Okay,
No,
because
no,
it doesn't
no.
credit
No.
anyone.
No.
There's no credence.
No.
No, but you are a sworn member.
Proud, upstanding, dues paid member.
Is there any transactional money
Emotionally,
changing hands either way, towards them, towards you, or you towards them?
I am aware of some circumstances where money is being transferred to some team members from the project, not myself.
And not from your
Not from
banking
my
institutions to them
institutions.
either.
No.
Okay. So,
I don't want to say much more about that. Because let's not sully this.
okay. And Hellenistic is a reference to what?
Helen Hunt.
To which Helen?
Do we speak? It's really my. That's our focus.
Is it
getting
pre Saint Helen? Like Hellenistic period? No, Saint Helen.
I'm gonna look.
At
No.
USA Today snapshots. 1 in 4 say that they live in a haunted house. Americans on whether they have ever shared their home with what they think was a paranormal presence. 25% say yes.
That seem high.
No.
No.
10% not sure.
Just because people love to get rowdy.
Just because people talk shit.
Oh, because they talk shit. No.
And
it was a rocking chair, and she was knitting.
And people talk shit. And yeah.
That's it. People talk shit.
But also a lot of fucking people believe that shit. Like just
Totally. But
But like
But that's a lot. That's so many people. Does it ever happen to any of these things happen to people that don't
it's
just
the kind of question that you answer different ways depending on how serious you think the question is. But in a point with your
Let me
what?
ask you straight up, man to man. In your life,
yes,
of all the places that you've laid your weary head over the years, different states, not states of mind, states of states, do you think you've ever lived in a haunted abode?
what do you mean by that?
I mean that you have either seen an apparition or felt that you've experienced the presence of something, someone that you was there, but maybe not to the naked eye, or no,
Yes.
because maybe people see.
Well, I guess
they see ghosts. They like see them, right?
well, feel them,
Or they hear
sense
them.
feel
They
them.
smell like.
There's
this
all
is
sorts of
where
different things,
the-
but I would say
It seems like a big number. How come How come I haven't had that?
you've
And how come I
never-
haven't been abducted by an alien
well,
or seen a UFO?
but that number is pretty low.
Oh, that's lower than a haunted house.
Holy shit, yes.
Okay. Well, how come I've never lived? I haven't lived in that many
is there-
places.
Is there anything you can recall in your life? And I mean, you don't obviously have to answer now, but is there anything that has ever happened to you that you do not understand?
The fact that we're not on television. That's haunted to me.
Oh, that is haunting. It is very haunting.
Is there
It's-
anything that's happened to me that I don't understand?
that you don't have an explanation for.
No.
Okay, so that's
But even beside that, that's so abstract.
it's not abstract.
Well,
that's
abstract in the sense.
it's the
Have I ever
fundamental-
been in a house that I've lived in and looked over and been like,
Okay, what I'm saying
I'm
is
seeing
this.
a ghost,
No,
or
what I'm
it's
saying is
haunted.
this. What I'm saying is that a lot of people say dumb shit.
oh God,
But what I'm saying is all that indicates to me is that 25% of people had some shit happen to them that they don't understand, and it happened to them while they were sitting on their couch in their house.
In the dark?
Or not even in the dark. They just turn off the TV and turn the other way, and something happens, and they're like, what the fuck was that? And they're seeing stars
ghost.
just because they like looked at something and looked at something else, and they were like,
man.
oh, that's a ghost.
Brain games.
And then they're like, now they get to like, because their fucking life is so crappy and boring, the next time somebody 2 years down the road is like, have you ever seen a ghost? They remember the one time they turned off the television.
There's people listening to this right now that are like thriving and smart, and they're like, Seth, shut the fuck up. I definitely at one point in like
I would say also
the
the
I was in a
idea-
haunted house.
We are also so self-centered. People say haunted house. You know, if you experience something repeatedly in the same place, okay, now we're talking about what something
There's a
might
spirit.
actually one might categorize as a haunting or something. Now, whether or
Yeah.
not that is real or exists,
Well, it's
I don't
real.
know.
It's definitely real.
But what I'm saying is, what about just, I definitely, not definitely, obviously, but I feel as though, that definitely, no, like I have sensed some type of entity in situations.
Wow.
But like, I don't think that entity was somehow in some permanent occupants. Like it was someone who used to live in this place
Not
and
like a
died.
spirit
It could have just
frogger.
been like a weird alien just passing through or something
so it's,
like
it wasn't a haunting. No. No, that was Anunnaki.
just traffic.
That's not apparition. It's Anunnaki
But
traffic.
you know what I mean? That
No.
like
Ever no. Never gonna see a UFO. Never gonna see a ghost. Get it to me. Listen. If it happens, I'm gonna jump on board.
Well,
I talk.
but no,
I
hold
talk
on a
shit
second.
about.
But listen to me.
like,
Listen to me.
Like
There is
1,000
nothing.
movies, but if I sit down and like the movie, I'll tell you like, oh no.
Absolutely. And
So,
I'm telling
I'll talk
you,
shit about
as much
ghosts.
as
If I see a ghost, I'll
you know
tell
that
you.
I go outside every fucking night to smoke my cigs and stare up at that fucking sky in the desert, and there is nothing that is ever there's nothing I have ever seen in the sky
Yeah.
anywhere under any circumstances
Shit.
that I am like, I don't know what the fuck that was. The only thing I can attest to is that I believe there is certainly waking experiences
Yeah.
that I have had within a dream state that causes me to believe pretty wholeheartedly that our consciousness is capable of existing outside of our physical bodies.
Ooh.
And that's about as far as I would weigh in on the subject matter of almost all things outside of like
Paranormal or supernatural
or religious or anything. That's about as much as I've been able to.
I'll take
and
that.
if that is true,
Which it is.
then
Like this.
when one's consciousness is out there, it is also interacting with whatever else's consciousness is capable of that. And I would think that transcends humans.
It's a nice place to meet somebody in this. Where did you
That's-
guys meet?
Well-
Funny story. I was in Palm Desert.
I
I
mean,
was
that's
outside
about
smoking a
as-
cigarette. Your mom was in Scottsdale, Arizona.
We left our bodies.
She was drunk at a wedding, and she wandered out fell into a cactus.
And
We sort of left our bodies, our meat bodies. You know what I mean?
You know what I
right,
mean.
children? We left our meat bodies, and then on a higher spiritual plane, our eco energies met. Fucked.
immediately.
I got a voicemail from a lovely woman in Canada, and she said, "Hey, I got my driver's license, so I'm driving." All
And
over-
listen. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no.
Forget it. No, because the only scientifically it is possible that obviously we know it. I believe that is the order in which that occurs. There is no reason that science at this point or a scientific mind couldn't say that whatever that insular mind experience requires a mind, aka a brain, in order to do it. So it cannot have an experience outside of itself because it requires a living body
Okay.
in order to exist. I guess that is maybe the argument.
That's the rub right there.
Does the human body create that awareness,
Well, where's the
or the
consciousness
machine
come
that
from?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is the body the machine that that creates its purpose as a machine is to produce consciousness? Is that is that what the function of us is within the universe, let's say, or the waking consciousness, right? That
Yeah.
a consciousness that is aware of itself, as opposed to the consciousness of an animal that's awake and alive and alert and processing in the world, but is not aware of itself within the context of all of that, where we talk about ourselves outside of ourselves.
Is that true though? Do we know? Maybe?
Well, we talk about ourselves as this, and as the show, and
Yeah.
as a species, and as a society, and as all these things. So we see ourselves, but then we constantly can see ourselves echoed in those ways, and we don't believe that animals.
Sometimes
We don't believe that animals have that.
Sometimes in Mizu and
Well,
we
listen.
stare at each other a lot, and there's been a couple times like staring into a campfire for too long, when I'm like,
I don't know what's happening right now.
yeah, I'm like, this, what's going
Well,
on?
Can I say that it does not it's very odd to me that Fatty really sort of seems to maybe have represented. It's very odd to me that I've lost this weight during this same time with Fats. He started to lose weight, and that I've been carrying this dog around with me through 2 marriages and all of this fucking stuff. And that as this dog started to like atrophy, that, and this is a good thing for me, you know, I started to smoke pot again after 5 years of being totally sober. But other than that change, have not altered very much about my life or the choices I make on a daily basis. And weight has started to just essentially fall off of my body.
So
and
wild.
that Fatty was maybe somehow more than just a name or something. It's like, I'm like, that I've been carrying him and his life just like he was carrying me through that. But like at the same time that something started to physically happen to me that is now been happening long enough that it's like obvious, and that I didn't make any other shifts. When I started obviously noticing the weight loss, I think that enthused me into making better choices.
Okay.
But in no way did I
set
make.
out like
I didn't
New Year's.
didn't notice it was happening.
That's so wild.
Until someone else noticed, and then I was like, I weighed myself, and I was like, oh, I've lost like 10 pounds, and now that's like over 20 pounds, and this is the lightest I've been since I left Justine. Not because I left Justine,
No.
but I lost about 50 pounds. I lost about 25 pounds leading up to the separation, and I lost another 25 pounds or so when I moved to Santa Monica because I was riding my bike so much and stuff. So that's about, and that at that point, I was, after that 50 pounds, I was a little bit lighter than I am right now. But that this is not, I haven't done anything other than let go of this animal.
I mean, there's a lot.
But I mean, but letting go was a real thing.
And
anyway.
it will be.
And it will continue to be.
Which
anyway,
is,
it's just weird the weight of things, or the weight that things carry, or even like to think that like the name is it's just so weird. It's because people would bring up the name all the time, and it would really bug me about they always be like, "What's your dog's name?" And I'd say Fatty, and they'd be like, "He's not fat," and I'd be like, "What gives you like?" the assumption that I would give my dog a derogatory name. Like, it was always makes me crazy, but the name became this thing that I was, and also, there's so much. I stole him. It wasn't even my dog. I gotta stop. Sorry.
No, dog. This
Sorry.
is
it's just the weight thing. I gotta stop talking about him though. It's the weight thing is a trip to me because it's connected to him. I know it is.
Okay. Yeah.
And whether that is like we were talking about supernatural things, and like that's the kind of stuff where I really do try to kind of like either make some sense of, or at least take a mental note of like, that's so weird.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, oh, I got spooked in the kitchen. It must be the ghost that lives in my apartment from the 20s. I think she was an actress. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, nobody's stuck in here.
That's so true. She almost got the big part, but she didn't get it.
Yeah, so she just bounces around the inside and just driving you nuts.
Just acting.
Just running her lines.
Can you hear her? Those are her sides. One time I came home and there were just 100-year-old sides on my coffee table. Can I work?
Anyway, sorry.
This woman in Canada got her driver's license. Very excited. In Canada, but she said, here's the deal. You can't use any, I didn't totally understand this. So you can't use any mobile devices, anything hooked up to the internet while you're driving. So she can't listen to the podcast. Does that make sense? In Canada, you can't use any mobile devices, anything hooked up to the internet while you are driving the vehicle. So she's not been able to listen to the podcast.
Oh, because her car is old enough that she cannot control her phone from her stereo.
So then she has to. How would she be listening to the show? She would be listening to it how?
On a smartphone? No, I'm saying normally in a newer car, you plug your smartphone into the stereo, and now you can control it from your controls on the car, which is not illegal.
Okay.
If she picks up the phone, she's breaking the law. So her car must not have the ability to control a smartphone from her car. So the only way she has
listening to us has become illegal.
Right. So what she actually has to do
in the country of
is
Canada,
start the show before she gets into the car. Football pass it through the window, so the show's just playing on the phone, and then
she's not get
into the car.
She has to go into the car, start the car, roll the window down, get out of the car,
go back upstairs,
download it, come down. Does she have to throw the phone and jump in the car at the same time?
She can't touch the car, and she can't touch the car, especially because it's running now.
Okay.
She cannot touch the car and the phone at the same time, so she has to toss the phone through the window.
Hope that it lands gently on the seat. Then she is legally allowed, if it's still playing, the laughter's happening, she then gets in the driver's seat. That is legal.
Yes.
Now, if an officer of the law drove up, let's say this is Manitoba, it's got to be a place, right? They would not have any legal action. She hasn't broken the law. Does somebody have to film that whole scenario so she can play that?
Someone would just have to film her. They would have to prove her guilt, not her innocence.
Okay.
So they would have to have footage of her touching the phone at a stoplight.
Yes.
Just quickly fast forwarding through the stupid part where I talk about myself and my dog.
Rewinding it to hear it a third time. You busted.
I hope you like Canadian prison.
Do you like Manitoba prison? Okay.
Hard time in Manitoba.
Stuff. What do I have here? Oh, I have. I mentioned a show that was going to be on A&E called Customer Wars. That was supposed to air on October 18th originally. You might remember. I did. It's now going to be airing on Tuesday, November 15th.
Now,
little programming update.
Okay, so they just didn't quite. What happened there? What is the slogan? In this show, the customer's dead wrong.
Motherfucking stupid and wrong. In this show, you kill the customer, or the customer kills you.
You cuck the customer.
Cuck wars. Is
that a human or a cat?
That's my guy.
Is he like, what the fuck are you doing so late in here?
No, because it's so funny. It's funny how you'd said, because I just didn't understand the gravitas of the relationship between.
I don't think
pet and
animal.
I
just don't think it had
so
happened. It's not that you didn't. It's that you didn't.
It's just a nice treat to experience it and then be like, oh, you're so stupid, and then get like how just to be the like what you're going through because in knowing what was happening for those couple of days, briefly, your mind like, well, I will imagine it, and it's just, it's a funny thing.
But
I guess
also, but I think more for me.
I guess that's what makes those kids so good, right?
Oh, but like, I guess like
it.
on like another like astral fucking plane, they say. My dad's
kids.
like, you don't even know, dude. He's like, I see what you, and he's like, you don't.
Dropping the
he's
bucket.
like, imagine what I feel like when I look at you. He's like, you'd shit your mind out. So,
dope.
But I would say just how much richer your life is, you must at least be able to see how unfathomable, now that you feel that way about Mies, how unfathomable it is that you didn't know that about yourself prior.
It's crazy.
It's like such a treat.
It's awesome
that you get to have that enriching, engrossing thing that anchors you to this place, this here and now.
It's
the real, like, whatever it is about our minds of whether or not we're real or where we're going, the fact that regardless of what it is I think about all of this, that whatever all that is, whatever's happening right here is the craziest fucking bonkers shit ever. And like whatever can make you, remind you of that, I think helps keep in focus how wild and far out and arbitrary whatever it is, whatever version of it is we're working with up here. It's all cute and everything, but it don't mean fuck all. And it's like you should talk about it really like it's such a fluke fest. Like we don't get to talk about anything up here in absolutes. I don't care who you are. I mean, obviously about any beliefs. Not about science or anything, but like when we're talking about what we think things are, none of us get to like say it. It's like all I know is what you're talking about is that these things happen here that are so deeply enriching and convincing and beautiful that, I mean, who cares about whatever the fuck else happens afterwards? Like we deal with that then, I guess, or whatever. There's no getting away. There's no escaping if this is a trick or something. There's no escaping that the trick is I'm duped. Like I'm in. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone's gonna like exactly like so be it. If you guys trick me so good that it makes me feel like this, like fucking all by all means,
like
run the simulate, keep it
Mizu
running.
and I are staring at each other, and he just like turns into like full Anunnaki.
Yeah.
Like before my eyes.
Yeah.
He's just like, did that fuck with you?
Did I fuck with you enough?
Did I fuck with you?
But yeah, I don't know.
And then disappears.
And
then I call you and I'm like, oh my God, it happened.
You know, it means an awful lot to me to be able to, I don't think I would like very much at this point in my life to call you and not have you act that way.
Get on the same wavelength.
Well,
instantly.
It just made me feel so good to know that you did understand.
Yeah.
You know, not because you do, and so I don't feel different. It just was such a comfort to be like, oh my God, like Seth gets that. Yeah. And like to know that there was a time that we knew each other and loved each other where that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
That we love, that we knew and loved each other and we were friends, but you were like, I don't know what it is with, why does this guy let these fucking filthy, why is he French kissing this animal?
I remember one time we were like late for a movie because you had to stop and rescue a dog, and I was like,
I'm going to kill this guy.
I'm going to lose credits.
It felt very good when I called you and I was like, because I wasn't anticipating hearing your voice and hearing that empathy in your voice. I was calling to tell you because it, like, my weird duty as your friend that Seth doesn't like to not know things. Seth doesn't like to hear things later, that kind of thing. So I was almost fulfilling that obligation as opposed to coming to you as a friend.
Yeah.
And then when you reacted that way, I was like, whoa, like I felt it in me. It was trippy. And then I immediately recognized that I was like, oh, you've kind of you've sort of stored him away in that sense you've defined him in a way that's like an older definition of that aspect of his mind, and of course he gets it. He has like deep,
Yeah.
love for an animal.
Was Beauty Boy taught him how to love. I mean, it's just that
and
simple.
that's it. And now he's bugging you outside, being like, "Why are you?"
I want to. I mentioned Customer Wars. I want to give you.
We have no reason. We were not given a reason as to why they postponed.
No, we weren't given a reason. Nothing. I don't know of an event as sort of,
Just in poor taste.
someone was slapped in a Kohl's that day, and it
They
made
had
the
to-
news, and they had to
and they were
pull
like,
it.
"But that's a bad
That
time
customer got slapped in Kohl's.
So let's yank this.
Yank
for another.
it. Wait till next month.
Let's shelf it for a month.
Shelf it because
Let's let
300
that-
more people aren't going to get slapped
let
like in
that-
Kohl's. But we'll find out. I want to know what's going on with the customer and with the people working.
Who's gonna die?
Who's getting slapped?
Who's gonna die?
Who's getting slapped?
Customer is gonna die.
That okay? I have which would have just aired, but it's Netflix, so I guess it's not as, for my streamers to my like Spectrum cable. I guess this started on Friday, November 4th, but it doesn't really mean anything. It's on Netflix.
The urgency isn't quite there.
I guess it is for me. By the time you hear this, I'll have watched all 8 episodes of Buying Beverly Hills. This was the show we mentioned, The Agency, Mauricio Umansky. And this is drama around every corner. That's what they tell me. So this is, I guess, Selling Sunset does so well that they're like, let's buy Beverly Hills.
Well,
we sold Sunset. Let's buy Beverly Hills.
But I mean, his agency is enormous,
Huge agency.
and his wife is a
Dear friend of yours.
friend of the show, friend of the
friend of
family,
you,
friend of mine.
My life. And who can resist more real estate pornography in the Los Angeles area? Who can resist?
That too. But I mean, there's no reason to think that if it done right, that it's not a formula for.
Oh, it don't get done right.
Yeah.
Because
There's also some crazy
drama around every corner.
I was just gonna say.
So does that mean you go into the pantry and there's going to be like,
well, there is.
holy shit, you guys are coworkers. You can't be making on the pantry.
There is some old drama that is long lasting too with Mauricio and stuff, and so I mean that stuff might come up in this show. There might be some housewives stuff that could maybe air itself
to
out.
Get you and air out some of that
Get
drama.
me in.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm in.
I wasn't in.
Oh, there's
before.
housewives in the pantry? And then we've got, on Monday, November 7th, Season 2 will show on Freevee. Judy, she's back. Judy Justice
you're
is
gonna
back.
say Bosch.
120. No. Unless that's a crossover.
Judy
and Bosch.
She brings him in as a specialist.
Brings him in
to testify.
Yeah, to come in. Oh wow, 120 episodes in that first season. 120 great episodes. Season 2, an epic new season. All rise for an all new season. So we got drama around every corner. So that's Housewives in the Pantry, and over on Freevee, y'all got rise for Season 2 of Judy Justice.
I think I asked you this. Can I jump in?
Yeah.
Anytime.
Just like UhhYeahDude.
No learning curve, bro.
Not a curve to be learned.
You might have to get through 1 or 2 of these before you kind of understood what was happening.
You probably had somebody brief you for a few minutes,
God
and maybe
willing.
that's enough. And I've briefed you
God
on Judy.
willing. You certainly have.
Yeah, it's just
fair enough. Fair enough.
Next time you're scrolling, when you're in your fucking, in your Roku, when you're jumping around, when you got your little Apple remote out, with the bad little fucking buttons, start streaming around.
You watch that on Amazon?
A Freevee.
But you get it Freevee on Amazon?
Yeah, it's Freevee.
But hold on a second.
Don't call it Amazon. It's Freevee.
I know, but when I go to my fucking television, don't I open Amazon?
Yeah, and then go to Freevee.
But what do you mean go to Freevee? Because I already went to Amazon.
Freevee on Amazon.
Do
you have the password?
What did you think about? I watched Thursday Night Football when I was up at my folks, and I was thinking about what you said.
What did I say?
Well,
football's cool.
You were like, Jonathan, and I was like, yeah, what's up, Seth? This is before he had COVID and everything. No, when you watched the first one,
Yeah.
you were like, this is kind of weird. Like, I'm watching it on my television. Or you watched it on here?
Watched it on here.
You watched it on here.
On my television.
And I just was like, I just remember it sparked a conversation with us. And it was like one of those conversations that I realized it was sort of pointless because that crossover, it was so utterly uneventful watching it. It felt
No different.
Exactly. That whatever that thing is that they
You
could
mean me,
kill.
that I have an arbitrary, or just in general?
No. That you
Okay.
brought it up and I thought about it because I was like, oh, that's kind of crazy. But then when watching it, because of the way in which we watch the internet now and that we can get the internet back on this presented, all we need it to be is, and I've said it before, there's something about the passive way in which television watching occurs as opposed to watching television on the internet where you're still somehow engaged with it, where you can search it and alter it and whatever while it's playing back, whereas this you kind of cue something up still and sort of sit back. That once the Amazon football was on the television, I'm just watching football
Once
again.
it appears.
But that we were saying like NBC could basically stop NBC tomorrow and everybody
Just be
in the
Peacock.
world would adjust. It's already that transition has already occurred, and I know that this
You mean NBC as it appeared either
like Peacock,
terrestrially
it could just
or
be
through
like
a
it's
cable
only on
system.
Peacock now.
Peacock.
Everything, it's just Peacock.
So you can watch it on your phone, your
Doesn't matter, it's
iPad,
just
your
called
desktop,
Peacock.
or your TV.
It would be over.
Get the app. Figure it out.
It's over. That people would be like, "What?"
Your
And then it would
jitterbug
just
can
be
handle
like,
it. Your
over.
jitterbug now is an iPhone 6. Don't worry.
Exactly. That it's we have
Okay.
television has managed
then we
to
must be
make
close.
its way back into the internet pretty easily and gotten to we must be close to what?
To everything being a
One thing.
streaming-based service.
Okay, but when will it be? But how long until it's just one thing? I guess it almost is now. It's just a different way of watching.
It's not, because we don't have the numbers in front of us, and we only are thinking about us, people in our life, people that listen to the show, and then you remember that, like, in a country with 330 million people, if someone presented us with the numbers of like who doesn't have the internet and who watches just NBC, CBS, the numbers would be so staggering in how much more
I know
they are that we'd be like, oh, we're further away than we
especially considering that
think.
But even I and you, we're so far on the other side of that. But you and I both still have we have a very separate television and a
You and I.
and a no. Just saying, as individuals, we both have distinctly different, like, this is a computer and this is a television. Like, you and I still are living basically in the dark ages, but like, and we're like on the super far end of that technological curve. So like you're saying, yes, absolutely. For everybody else, it's still just like, it's just cable, you know, and I know that. But
I mean,
it is.
My mom she doesn't refer to it as CBS, NBC, or ABC. She refers it to the number that it appears on the TV.
Right.
So that's
Still,
like
forever.
What's ABC? I don't know. It's channel 7 or whatever, you know.
Right.
So it's like we got to waste.
It doesn't mean anything probably to anyone that's listening. I think Seth and I's obsession with media and all forms and television, both in our lives and our preoccupation with it. What television provided for us
in its
growing
their own
up,
unique way,
and what it is now is definitely not the same thing. And all I think I always look for is like, okay, I'm willing to admit that doesn't mean that the need isn't fulfilled somewhere else, that I just am not getting it. I just want to know what that version of that is now, is all I ever want to know. Like what that thing was back then to me, what is that now? I just want to know what that is for everybody forever. Because that's the thing that interests me. Like, what is the thing that you get, that you gravitate towards?
When I was at Emerson and like studying communications, and when we I don't remember what class it was, but we did a media fast. So you had to make a pledge, and I did it. I think no one else, I was like, I'm going to do this. 7 days, but a media fast
Back
in
then.
the early 90s was,
No
so it was
MTV.
no radio, no TV, no newspapers, and then you weren't, if you were out in the world and presented with sort of advertisements, you were supposed to try to kind of like
not look at billboards,
Yeah.
right? Not process.
And then I was thinking, like, to do 7 days now, I wouldn't take that pledge. There's no way.
Well,
I would have to.
You would have to go to the woods.
That's what I mean. It'd have
Yeah,
to
you'd
be
have
like,
to be a retreat.
Me and Jared Leto, like,
Yeah, like an
hiking,
actual
like,
oh no, it would.
yeah, I had to pay $9,000 to do this. Like,
Exactly.
The idea of like not watching TV or a movie or in like the
Or like you're
internet
saying that even I mean,
I remember it just to remember it even then because it was such a big deal to do because it was so crazy to have to do it for 7 days so actively. You wouldn't be able to do that now. It'd be impossible.
I mean, the idea of doing it just to the phone is a huge deal, and the only way you could do it with the phone is if you could just have. So long as I can have my streamers, I'll just binge shit for a week to try to think about the fact that I'm missing
off my phone.
Instagram or whatever. But
So
if
I'll
you could just kill the phone for a week, that would be considered a fast at this point in the world. Just no phone is like that's pure. That's like your Gandhi, Media Gandhi.
Your media Gandhi. Mahatma? No.
Mahatma Media Gandhi.
MGK? No. MMG.
Mahatma Media Gandhi. Oh, LA Auto Show, November 18th through the 27th.
Not a thing. We don't do cars anymore. I thought
well,
we were over
it's
cars.
all I think
Okay,
it'll
so
all
now
be,
it's just
it'll
all-
all be things to look for because in the next 2 years, right? Or
2
8
years, yeah. Wow, it's fucking fast. So Christmas in 2 weeks.
But yeah,
and then
it'll
2
be a
weeks.
lot of e-cars and
Okay,
I mean,
so
and the
you can
last
geek
of
out on that.
the last of the great dinosaur burners
Yeah, like
and
Jay
stuff.
Leno there looking at the last like combustible engine and like.
That's crazy. Oh my god. How fast does it go?
So yeah, I guess that makes sense. I was thinking like, man, maybe we still like go look at like
I'm going.
cars. I know that.
I mean, I talked to Amir about
We already
going.
made plans to
like,
go.
Yeah.
And so
We'll
you guys
go
will like
every
look
year.
at like electric cars
No,
together.
we'll
and
look
just,
at
like,
cars, just
point-
period.
Electric cars. And
All cars.
e-cars, like your e-cigarettes.
And then we'll go downstairs to the place where they just sell the wheels and shit and like
And just talk about
accessories.
rims, and, like accessories. Talk about like
How fast the
how
accessories
fast
go.
the whims go,
How fast do these whims go?
and then like maybe point at like maybe they'll have like stuff for like
girls, bikinis,
yeah, maybe they'll have that, but then maybe those bikini girls will show you like
like a cleaning product.
yeah, maybe a new product, and you guys will point at that,
Take pictures.
take pictures with the product
and the girl.
and the girls. That's a mirror, Jonathan, a product,
And a-
3 girls, and a vape, an e-cigarette. No, it's a car.
No, it's
Looks like a vape.
just
It's the LA Auto Show.
the vape.
Wow, man. I don't know how I never got into never got into that. Maybe just because my dad wasn't into it, so I didn't get into it. But I never got like car and driver. I remember like when we were in like middle school, like everyone would like pass a car and driver around, and I'd be like, "That's like weird." Like, what you like Datsun like 280Z? Like, look at that! It goes like vroom vroom vroom,
Yeah.
and then this goes vroom.
What? No, you didn't care.
Maybe because I'm so not mechanical, I couldn't appreciate any of the
Well, yeah.
moving parts of it.
Well, you also aren't
No, people love whips. Love talking about it.
You're
being
not a
about it.
thrill seeker.
Oh, that's what cars are?
Well, that's what
I just think about getting to
kids'
the
obsessions
supermarket.
with cars is going
yeah.
fast or
Like
burning it around a corner and
burning
stuff.
it. Yeah.
It's the only reason kids get into it is because it's like they go fast.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's something that you would
No, I'd be
do.
like, hey, slow down.
Well, just
You're just going to the supermarket. Chill.
exactly. Like there's no point.
Yeah. Just going to
Unless
get some
we're like
tempeh. Chill.
racing for money, then like don't do this.
Or like, yeah, like running from Nazis.
Seth the
like,
Jet.
yeah, like chill.
I got
Vroom,
this.
Vroom, 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 vroom.
That's
That's
what it
it.
is. I don't think you see the point.
Yeah. I don't see it as anything other than like very utilitarian
Right.
sort of like,
Yeah, yeah.
I need to get to the supermarket and I don't want to walk.
Yeah.
So I get in this thing. It's called a car.
Yeah. It takes me there like
It
super
gets me
fast.
there like really fast.
Way faster than
Like what
walking.
it looks like is like wicked low on my like list. As long as I arrive
yeah, you don't
at
give
the
a fuck
supermarket.
about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you one of those reference. You use like the Lamborghini Countach reference, poster reference all the time. I mean, was there not a point where you would sort of fantasize about those like super sports cars on your wall kind of thing, like super fancy like Ferraris and shit? Like, I guess me, like Magnum PI, I was like, yeah, I want like a dope convertible Ferrari that like I whip around Hawaii while I solve murders with my mustache and bang hot broads.
That's what I want.
That's what I want.
You can have that, right?
Everyone has
that. Attainable.
Everyone can have that if they want, right?
You just ask for it.
That's what this show's about.
You do it. Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
This was
952.
We started in February of 2006. It's now November of 2022. Fully like November. Yeah, that's like a water slide
out.
to like
Skidding
2023.
Skidding out
because
to
it just is
2023.
like, it's just you go. I mean,
You
we're barreling into Thanksgiving.
I know.
You know,
By the time you're eating Thanksgiving, you're like
it's 2023.
you're looking
At Thanksgiving, you
it's
pretty much
January
make your
2nd.
New Year's plans.
It's January 2nd.
It's the anniversary of January 6th.
Where do you go
You're
day
kinda
after
making
New
your plans
Year's?
like, what are we doing on January 6th to commemorate when we rose up? Right, family?
Family,
Right?
fam?
Yeah, Thanksgiving is essentially about like making New Year's plans.
It's just a pregame.
Friendsgiving is a New Year's pre-pro.
And
then it's 2023. That's going to look cool
because
that's
that's
Jordan.
right,
So that's cool.
and that's when the president happens, or is that not until after that?
I think we
That's
got
after
another year
one more
on
of
that.
those.
It's the Olympics, though, I think, right? Yeah.
The LA
Yeah.
ones.
They're here 2023. Yeah.
My
But then
name,
we'll really get to, the 100th year anniversary of the Hollywood sign. That's going to be a good kind of, right? It's going to be a great year for us all year, just kind of really celebrate. Looking up and
Every
celebrating.
day.
Every day
100
looking
days
up.
of Hollywood. They're calling it the
They're
celebration.
calling it 365 days of Hollywood. That's going to be pretty cool for us. But yeah,
Every
like
day.
November, everybody you got to hydrate. I would tell everyone just start like really pounding like water now. Like keep one of those gallons with you. Go old school, like, early aughts when we're all carrying around like gallons.
No one was doing that
except
for
me.
you.
Okay, but how many microplastics do you think I ingested?
In that hoopty ass water. That
Yeah.
like fucking what was the name of that company? What is the name of that fucking dispenser that you used? That shady dispenser?
I'm so
It's
fucked.
just you and like
Yeah.
it was just the neighborhood.
Just this is good for you. Is it though? What's the receptacle? Yeah. So, but I would say maybe
Seth, we're talking the cloudy milk ones. We're not even talking thick hard plastic. You're talking like the cheapest, the ones that if the water's remotely warm when it hits the bottle, it just like turns into like a soft pillow. It like liquefies.
No, if you put it out in the sun, you can pour it into your car and like go 2 miles.
It becomes gas.
This makes 2 miles. Really?
It's like half.
I ran out of like drink it, melt it, and go. I would say hydrate because
you don't know
Thanksgiving is pre-pro for New Year's,
and also you're gonna be
And you know what I do? I start writing out 2023 for my checks now, so I don't fucking get caught slipping the first week of January.
So what, you get maybe 30 checks?
I get dummy checks. B of A sends.
Oh, you're just practice checks. I thought you just
No.
date 30
No.
in.
B of A sends me every December. They send me 30
Dummy checks.
dummy checks,
That's what it says on it on the outside of it.
and then I just practice because practice makes perfect. Fuck. Because I ain't gonna get caught slipping, dog. Not the first week of 2023.
Absolutely not.
Holy shit, man.
Dummy checks. I didn't even think about that.
Then we got the February 11th. That's a Saturday. You got UID's 17th birthday.
Yeah.
The 12th, you got that Cowboys getting that 6th.
Yeah.
Then 2 days later, you got that Valentine's Day.
And the parade in Dallas.
And then the parade in Dallas on the 13th. And then
Come back for
Oh,
953. Go to Patreon, pledge $5 to the show. It keeps the show commercial free, no ads, and gives you all the video episodes, discounts on merch and everything. 888-842-2357. You can find me on Instagram, or you can email me. Oh, I have a phone number. I can't remember what it is. It's probably it's out there.
Call 888-842-357
And
and
then,
I'll tell
yeah.
you. I'll tell you what the number is.
He'll call you back and tell
Say,
you.
this
All
is
right.
that number. You guys are crazy op over there, huh?
Ragtag.
Hey,
You want me to get the number?
listen, I don't think I'd want to have it at this point. Looking back now, and maybe when we started, but like now, hindsight, Monday morning quarterback, I think everything is just fine. I think everything is played out absolutely perfectly to this point at 9:52.
As far as how things
this
could have gone
whole-
versus how they are.
I think
and
it's gone
fine.
exactly according to plan. In the best way possible. And that is 100%, 100% because you take the time.
My
to listen
phone
to the
number
show.
is 323.
Please keep doing that.
Thank you. Please keep doing that. 323-387-3570. Call or text.
Yeah, text
that
about
comes
cars.
to
Take a picture of the car.
my. You take a picture of your cool car and send it to me.
Talk about like wheels. I have 4 wheels on my car.
How many do you
Text
have?
Back. I have 4 too.
Checking 4 wheels.
Cool.
Question mark.
Maybe that's it.
Come back.
Maybe we'll start getting cars with like 5 wheels or 3 wheels. That would be cool. Did I ever think about that?
Yeah.
4 wheels is perfect. 3's not better. 5's not better. 5 wheels has got to be better than 4 wheels.
Wasn't that Doc? Wasn't her car 3 wheels?
Who?
The little efficient fake prototype?
Who killed the electric car? You talking about that? I never saw that.
No, not that one.
Oh.
The one with the trans woman that goes on the run.
Oh,
Wasn't that 3 wheels?
Yeah, fuck 3 wheels. 5 wheels.
5 don't make no sense, bro.
5. You put
What does the 5th one do? It's like a rudder.
Makes up for one if one blows out.
So what's a spare tire you're talking about?
But it's
you have one of
on
those.
activated.
So it's well then what happens if it goes
It's
flat?
like a big rig. You know, how big rigs are like double tires.
dualies.
Dualies.
So
It's
you're
that.
saying
It's big
2
rig
in the
dualies.
front, 3 in the back, just 1 in the middle.
1 in the middle.
But but like this, like a dice, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Your first one.
So in the middle,
Yeah.
I think that fucks up the steering.
No, because the steering's all new too, man.
I
You know how like
I'm getting
video
off you for
games
no,
are
no,
like
because my shit is stupid, but I really believe it. Your shit is stupid and you make it up.
but where does that leave us in the
Seatbelts.
end?
Seatbelts.